ever heard the phrase sitting ducks? It's a phrase to describe someone who's just sitting and not doing anything. I bring to you one of my favorite animals in the place of a book, a sitting duck. The thing about the sitting duck is that I read it when I was super young, and I come with a friend today. I bring you my favorite doll when I was a kid. I acquired this doll when I was just 200 days old, and I've had it ever since, and I quite like it. I think the top of the hair reminds me of the green grass, similar to the ones that ducks munch on, which is why I've brought her with me today. I also brought her with me because this is one of the books that I really enjoyed when I was a kid. It did scare me a little at first, and it took some getting used to. But now it's one of my favorite books. So I've come here to share with you today a book about sitting ducks. Now let's dive straight into Sitting Ducks. Sitting Ducks by Michael Bedard. Day after day, a steady supply of ducks rolled off the assembly line at the colossal duck factory. Alligators pushed buttons and pulled levers that kept the machines humming, while conveyor belts moved the ducks through the factory. Finally, the ducks were loaded onto trucks for their journey to the city. Rarely did anything go wrong. But one day, an egg came through the incubation chamber unhatched. It rolled off the assembly line and fell down into the shadowy darkness below. The egg landed with a loud crack on the factory floor. Dazed by this rude introduction to the world, the little duck emerged and surveyed his strange surroundings. He wandered through the forest of machinery, awed by its size and dazzled by its beauty. The next thing he knew, the little duck came face to face with one of the worker alligators, who was very surprised to see a duck wandering freely about the factory. Instead of returning the little duck to the assembly line, the alligator stuffed him into his lunch pail and left the factory. When the little duck emerged from the lunch pail, he found himself in a nicely decorated apartment. The alligator acted friendly, but all the while, he was thinking what a delicious meal the duck would make when properly fattened. Each day, when the alligator went off to work, the little duck was left by himself with a large supply of tasty snacks. The days were long and lonely. At night, the little duck was so delighted to see his big friend that he danced madly about the apartment. At first, the alligator was bewildered by this weird welcome, but soon he joined in the crazy dance. As their friendship grew and grew, the alligator thought less and less about eating the little duck. They even tried going out together, but it proved to be very awkward. Today's special, duck soup. How do you think the duck and the alligator are going to manage to continue their little friendship? I quite like what they've created right now. They have such a nice little friendship going on, although it proved to be very awkward when they tried to go out to have some dinner. I want you to do something for me and follow along. I want you to think of one animal that can be a predator and one animal that could be a prey. And then I want you to follow along on the activity that I'm going to show you. And that was sitting ducks. I know that this story might have scared some of you with the amount of crocodiles and the egg falling out of the sky. Something about me is that I will always be super careful when taking the eggs out of the fridge for this exact reason. I am so scared that if one egg falls, it might hatch a duck. I know I don't eat duck eggs at home, but it's still the same with a nice chicken. I want you to think about something. Do you think that there are two animals that could be great friends? How about a lion and maybe a zebra? If you've ever watched the famous animated movie Madagascar, you'll know what great friends a lion and a zebra can be. I want you to think of two animals,
one predator and one prey, one that might eat the other one if left undisturbed. And I want you to think of a way that they could live together in a harmonious world. That's it for today. Thank you guys so much for coming along, and I hope to see you guys next time.